This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Lately, I've been having a hard time falling asleep, which is unlike me because normally I can just zonk out when my head hits the pillow. But I think it's because all of the travel I've been doing and jet lag or whatever, but I've been having some racing thoughts at night. And the only way to actually fix this is to get my thoughts out by talking to a therapist. And y'all, that's why I love BetterHelp, because you can go to therapy from the comfort of your own home and join at any hour that is most convenient to you. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed for convenient, flexible, and suited for your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Get a break from your thoughts with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/makingmoves today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/makingmoves. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Making Moves. I'm here today with our first lady, Lilah Gibney.
I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so excited that you're here. You look fantastic.
Something casual, something light.
Yeah, you look hot.
Nothing too wild.
I just told Lila, if I was like across the street, I'd be like, who is that girl and where is she going?
I told her I showed up like fully ready to run for Senate.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, I better have your vote. Come on now. Don't play.
You absolutely do. Okay, so Lila, I don't know you that well.
Okay.
I mean, I've researched the hell out of you, but I don't know you personally. So I wanted to start off with a little game.
I love the game.
I'm just going to put you in the hot seat. It's going to be like your fast favorites.
Okay.
So it's going to be a really quick question.
Wait, I love this.
Okay. So first question is, what's your favorite color?
Pink.
Great. Who's your favorite Kardashian?
Kylie.
Favorite song?
Anything by like Miley or like weirdly enough like XXX or like Lil Peep. Like I love like the like grunge.
Oh, wait, what kind of Miley though?
Like either bangers
Okay.
or like fully like Hannah Montana.
Obsessed.
The new album like I haven't even really like gotten obsessed with. I just like am still living in 2010.
Yes, same. Favorite food?
Anything carb and cheese with ranch related.
Okay.
Like anything bread, toast, Uncrustable.
With ranch.
Like
That's so Midwest
cheese,
of you.
quesadilla, whole nine.
Favorite movie?
Stick It or any of the Bring It On movies.
Oh my God, I love you. Okay. Favorite makeup product?
Probably a gloss.
Okay.
Honestly, because
What
even
gloss?
if I'm
Be specific.
like just a buxom like plumping
Okay.
gloss or anything Charlotte Tilbury always does the trick.
Oh.
If it's Charlotte Tilbury, you look hot.
Are you a pillow talk girly?
Of course.
Okay.
I have it in my bag.
Oh, okay. I
Oh,
love
yeah,
it. I mean, your
always.
lips look amazing.
Thank you.
Favorite person right now?
Oh, that's tough. I honestly am going through my stage where I'm like, ew, I hate everybody. But I think like Central C. Like I know that's so weird. Like usually like most people would say like a friend. Like no, I just like am living and breathing for anything Central C does.
Okay. Favorite TikToker?
Oh God, that's a hard one. I don't even know actually. I don't know.
Okay.
Can I pass?
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'll be thinking for too long.
Okay. Favorite thing in LA?
Honestly, the ability to do anything you want at pretty much every hour. Like you need like a 5-course pasta dinner, 2 a.m., done. Like you want to go out, done. It's a Tuesday, don't care. Like who knows where I'll go? It's Tuesday.
There's always so much going on.
Exactly. I love that because my brain goes a million miles an hour and I'm from Iowa. And so like the ability to literally like just have a day and a night, no matter what day of the week it is, like is my favorite thing.
I love it. Well, that's a wrap on our favorites.
Amazing.
I'm glad I know you a little bit
My
better.
heart's racing.
So speaking of the Midwest,
Yes.
Miss Iowa.
That's right. You heard it here first.
Tell me about growing up in Iowa.
So
Because I'm from Indiana.
Oh,
so remember
wait, I didn't know that. We talked
bonded
about
over this
that.
a little, yeah.
Midwest
We
girls.
met at
are
the Taylor Swift concert.
Yes. Midwest girls are the best girls. If y'all didn't know, now you know. We're making moves.
See, we're actually
with 2K.
nice.
Yes. We're actually nice. We actually have hearts. We actually have personalities. And honestly, tits.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I grew up in Iowa, like white picket fence ass family. Like I know a lot of people see me or like any of things I've done or my behavior, or any of my responses to things, and they're like, who raised this bitch? She's such a valley girl. Like, no, I literally grew up like 2 siblings, perfect family. My parents have been together like 30, 35 years, like 2 golden retrievers, like most
The Joneses. You're the Joneses.
Like literally, I don't even know who that is, but yeah.
It's like it's
Daisy.
like No, it's like a Daisy Jones and the Six.
I was like, what?
It's like an expression, like the Joneses, like the white picket fence family.
The Gibneys.
Yeah. The Gibneys, literally.
And so obviously I'm trans. I was just like a little boy, like running around Iowa. I would always be that like kid at my siblings, like athletic events, like running around barefoot with nachos, like in a pretzel in hand, just like cheering them on. Cause I was never athletic. Like I never didn't really thrive in the sport aspect of life. Didn't really thrive in like the academic part of life either. Shocker, I know. Don't worry, I have my degree. Come on now. But I just always thrived in like social settings and like making people laugh and like being kind of entertaining. But I never really realized that that could be like your job. Personality could be a job. Like it's crazy because it's like my talent is my mouth. Like it's like kind of crazy to even think about. But I like did my whole like cross country. I was always last. Like that was like my punishment. Like I would like get an in-school suspension. My mom would be like, join the wrestling team or cross country. And I'm
no
like,
way.
Mom, like
did you do wrestling?
Absolutely not. Like some of
this
her punishments were so like she's like, yeah, run a mile every day for 30 days. And I would just like walk around the block.
See, my punishment was reading. My mom would be like, you have to read two chapters before you go to your friend's house. And I'm like,
yeah, she just like took it physically. Like it was like go mow the lawn. And it's like, wait, what? And I always felt feminine and like I always felt like a woman internally. So like doing things like that, I was like, what? Like, no, I don't want to do that. And like the best day of my week would be like going to the mall and like getting my hopes up, like and like seeing the women's clothes. But then I would always leave with like a knee-length pair of khakis. Like I always was like that little ball of energy. Like I still pretty much am the same person. I'm just, you know, who I always have been internally. But yeah, it was very much like Iowa mojo, like corn husking, like cornfield. Like there was tractors driving to school. Like
peace, love, corn.
People on the horses, like the Amish country.
Yeah.
Like it was
but
very
you had
much
electricity.
Like, I had electricity. We had Wi-Fi. I'm grateful. But yeah, like gravel roads, like
farm.
Crazy.
Yeah.
No one would expect that like I came from that.
Well, I mean...
Sorry, that was such a long answer.
No, I love it.
Okay.
I love it. It's actually so cool. I think that's where you grew up. Did you enjoy growing up in Iowa?
I don't think I did at the time. Like at the time I would always be like, Dad, I'm literally gonna kill myself. Like why would we not just move to California or Florida or somewhere like amazing? Because of the winters there, bitch. If y'all are from the Midwest, like it's the whole like 6-inch layers of ice on your car, like waking up an hour early to turn on your car, like oh my God, I can like feel the coldness.
And the sky's gray. Ew, it's just like gray for months.
There's no TK. There's no ray of sunshine. Like honestly. There's no bad bitches.
There's slush.
Yeah, there's just slush, brown gunk, like slush. Yeah. Like it's just gross. And so I was like, ew. But now living in LA for almost 5 years, like next week, I think it'll be, I realized how grateful I am to have grown up somewhere so safe.
Yeah.
Like,
and simple.
Yeah. Like I would be going on like a run. And if I had to pee, I would knock on a random person's door and they would let me in to go to the bathroom and offer me water. Like, yeah. That was just
and like a
our
cookie.
Town. Yeah. And I never really took that for granted until I was here and I was like, even at my apartment building, like that, which is so expensive, by the way, within 2 steps leaving, like a homeless person, like literally yesterday, like ran up on me, and I was just like, oh,
yeah,
like, oh my God, like it's just so much like safer in other places,
and like I don't know
and the cost of living, good God,
yeah, I don't know about Iowa, but in Indiana, like people don't like lock their shit. It's just like
never.
Everything.
Our front door was
you just
never
walk
locked.
in. Yeah, you just walk in. Yeah. Your neighbors walk in. It's just, you know your neighbors. Like, I don't know my neighbors here.
Yeah, like, you know your neighbor to the point where, like, if you went over and knocked and asked for, like, an egg because you were making brownies and they didn't answer, you would open the door and be like, Debbie?
Yeah.
Hello? Because, like, why aren't you home?
Yeah.
Where are you? Your garage was open.
Exactly.
And no one here can relate. And
it's
so I love that.
Crazy.
I love that we both kind of had that upbringing.
So you said you have siblings.
I do.
How many siblings and who are they?
I have a brother, Jake.
Okay.
He is 2 years older than me. He has a wife, 2 kids. They met at like a private college in Iowa. He still lives in Iowa. He don't even know what he does. And then my sister, we were kind of like the yin and yang growing up.
Okay.
She's 4 years apart. So we're all 2 years and 2 months. Okay, they planned
out.
But she's 4 years older than me. She lives in Minnesota now. She's married with 1 kid. Yeah.
Wow.
And 1 kid. A kid is not coming out of my coochie anytime soon. It was too expensive. Yeah, they're both like living their like perfect like simpleton lives. They were both in sports. My sister like 4.0, like 3 sports a year and a job and a boyfriend. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't even, I'm not kidding. I think I had like a 1.8 GPA, but my parents like offered me money to get a 2.0. I didn't do the whole like geography. Like, I didn't do that. Like, Y equals what? MX plus who? Like, I don't care.
Yeah. Why? Yeah, exactly.
I just knew it wasn't going to be in my everyday life. Like, I always just knew that there was something greater.
So what were you into as a child? Like, what, you said you weren't into sports. You were into going to the mall, but what else were you into? Like, were you into Hannah Montana? Yeah, shoplifting.
Yeah, I loved Disney Channel. Like,
Okay.
honestly, like, that was like kind of like my weird, like, there were even a few little like stages, I want to say like around the like 6th grade where I would like Google like how to be like on TV, because I knew this one girl who like her parents flew her to LA and like she was like auditioning and like for Disney Channel.
There's always that one girl.
There's always that one fucking bitch, like Hannah Stacey.
That's like modeling or just like always going to a big city.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whose dad was like an anesthesiologist and her mom just like went and like swiped her card at Lululemon. Yeah.
Yep.
My mom was an extreme couponer. She was like
okay, love.
always about all that
the
stuff.
Binders?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. She loved the coupons. But honestly, I love that now. I'm like, okay, slay. I was just into like anything that involved like talking, entertaining, making people laugh. Like even like art class. Like, I would love doing art class because it was like something just like creative outside. Like, I wasn't into like theater.
You weren't?
No.
Okay.
Like, I was never like a theater kid, but I was like, ew, like I need to be like on TV. But I didn't know what that meant.
Okay.
I'm like choking.
So what were your favorite shows? Was it Hannah Montana?
I loved Hannah Montana. I loved anything like crime related.
Whoa, okay.
I loved this show called Monk.
Wait, I've never heard of
it.
It
was on USA Network. It was mine and my grandma's favorite show, still to this day. At my house in Iowa, I own all 8 seasons.
Oh.
Every episode, he had OCD.
Okay.
So he was like very OCD, and then somebody would get like stabbed to death, and he would like be like, he would just notice one little thing, and I was like, oh, fascinating, cute. And I loved Glee. I think Glee was like a very huge part of like who I am today, honestly, because like they had Kurt, he was gay, and then like, and then my grandma actually took me to see them live, like when they did their live like tour thing, and she was always my biggest supporter. Like, I was confused growing up. Like, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm bisexual, and then I was like, okay, I'm gay, and then I was like, wait, scratch everything. I'm a woman.
Well, that kind of makes sense as far as
1000%.
like what you would think as a kid, because I feel like I didn't even really know about
transitioning.
Being trans or like even the option until I was like way older. I always knew about being gay.
Yeah.
Or like, you know what I mean? People
it was
being
like
bisexual.
That option, like being gay was the like first option almost to like be different.
Yes.
And so you were like, okay, I feel feminine, I feel different, I'm gay. But it's like, no, you're not. You're confused.
Yeah.
You should probably seek therapy. But yeah, I'll never forget, like, I was actually talking about it this morning while I was getting glam. There were a couple moments like that I'll never, ever, ever forget, like during my childhood, like that would just put pits in my stomach about like transitioning. And like I was working at this place called Hy-Vee. It was like Ralph's. It was like a grocery store.
Okay.
And all the tabloids were all about like Caitlyn Jenner and like her nails being painted and then her hair being longer.
How old were you about when that came out?
I was like, it was definitely high school. So it was like 14, 15, 16, 17 max. And I literally got such bad anxiety. I had to run to the bathroom and I was like, ew, I can't. And I tried to keep working, but I like, it felt like somebody was like after me almost. Like I was like, ew, like, and I literally left work. Like I emailed my work and I was like, this place gives me too much anxiety. I can't be there ever again.
Whoa.
But I was just working. Like I've had 32 jobs. Like I'm just like I don't like that. And also just like watching I Am Jazz, that show I Am Jazz on TLC. It was about this girl who like transitioned when she was like 6 years old.
Oh, I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, and like we watched it at my cabin growing up, and I'll never forget me and my cousin. My cousin was like, so she used to be a boy, and in my brain I was like, wait, oh my god, like I get it, like now I get it.
Yeah.
And it was just never an outlet. Like there was no like, oh, like LGBT center, oh, trans friendly therapist. Like there was no like talking about it. There was no one at school being like, yeah, it's okay to be trans. Like, I don't even know if LGBT, no one even knew what the T meant. Let's make one thing clear. Like that was not like a thing. And so when I started, like when I finally went to school, I went to college.
Where'd you go to college?
Iowa State.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And so I went to community college my first year, moved away. And I think like, it was my senior year that I started experiencing with makeup. And so I wore just powdered foundation and mascara, I think, to our last
senior year of high school?
Yes.
Or okay.
Our last home basketball game. I loved the basketball games because
Okay.
like all the boys, you look so cute.
Yeah.
My friend would always be glamming her red lip.
Love.
And yeah, she would slay. And I was like, wait, I want to like feel pretty and cute and cunt, whatever. I tried to leave the house that day. My dad was like not having it. Like he was like trying to like drag me back in the house. I was like, Dad, like what? And he was like, wipe it off. I was like,
because of the foundation?
They didn't understand it. I do give them credit now. Like if you guys are like struggling at home with your parents, like be patient. Like things are confusing for parents, you know? But also at the same time, I'm just like, let your kid like figure themselves out. I don't know. And yeah, so that was the first time I ever wore it. And then I moved away and I was like, glam, okay, cute. Okay, Fashion Nova bodysuits, tube tops, like short shorts, like, oh my God, high heels. Oh my God, boys can wear like kind of like James Charles would wear like high heels. Jeffree Star, like Nikita I started watching Gigi Gorgeous, and now it's crazy that literally they're all my friends. But like, it's just like people started being more and more open about like their sexuality and how they felt like James, just because he's gay and wears heels doesn't mean he's like wants to transition.
Well, I remember when James got on the cover of CoverGirl.
Yeah, insane.
Everyone was flipping their shit.
I went straight to Ulta. I need his whole routine. Which
is crazy because now we would be like, oh, that's awesome, right?
Yeah,
like we'd be like, oh, word.
It wouldn't shut down the world like it would.
Yes, it was iconic.
All over news, all over Ellen, all over Oprah, like everything.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. How it's almost like the world has made so much progress in like such a short amount of time, but also like so many steps back at the same time, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Lately, I've been having a hard time falling asleep, which is unlike me because normally I can just zonk out when my head hits the pillow. But I think it's because all of the travel I've been doing and jet lag or whatever. But also, I've been having some racing thoughts at night. And I feel like every time my head hits pillow instead of falling asleep, I'm thinking about everything that could possibly happen in the world. And the only way to actually fix this is to get my thoughts out by talking to a therapist. And y'all, that's why I love BetterHelp, because you can go to therapy from the comfort of your own home and join at any hour that is most convenient to you. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed for convenient, flexible, and suited for your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Get a break from your thoughts with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/makingmoves today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/makingmoves. So when was the first time you realized, oh, you had the idea like, I might want to transition?
I was fresh out of, okay, so obviously I had like the thought like so many times, and even like when I think back to certain moments, like I remember when I was like 8 years old, I was at this place called Splash Landing. If y'all know,
Sounds like a blast.
Yeah, honestly, it was amazing.
Like a splash. Yeah.
And I sat on, this is like so TMI, but like not at the same time.
No, it's okay. I love it.
I sat on one of those fountain things that shoot out of the water. And then obviously all that water was going into my like, you know, rear end. I had to go to the bathroom. And so when I went to the bathroom, obviously I had to sit down for it, and I heard like the like almost pee noise because I was literally like there was so much water in my butt, and I was like, oh my God, this is how girls feel. And I was like, oh my God. And ever since then, I like just always wanted to sit down. Like I even when I was like a boy, like still didn't even like realize that I was trans. Like I still sat down. Like I was just always like internally like, it was always me and my sister. Everyone, we worked at the same country club. Everyone was like, are you guys twins? And we were like, no, we're 4 years apart. Like we sound the same. Even now you'd be like, oh my God. But we just have our differences. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was the first time you really realized you wanted to do anything.
Yeah.
And then,
like, oh my God. Okay.
When was the first time you, I guess, took action into that?
I was at Iowa State, and I was like, oh my God, like this is like so good. Like I was obviously by myself. Like I was having like a lot more experiences with other people. People would be like, are you like he, she? Like, what do you want me to? Because I would like go to
were you dating?
No, I would like hook up with people.
Okay.
But like just as like a femme little like cute gay boy. Like
and
I would have
you
my
always
blue
been into men?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like 7th grade, like into my like literal English teacher, Mr. Peterson. You're so fucking hot. And I would like DIY people's tailgate t-shirts, pop in my colored contacts, do my little like fresh glam.
That sounds
That was
so
my
fun.
job. I would go to Goodwill and I would get big t-shirts and like a bunch of craft stuff, and I would like you know like the things that like the cross or like the string down it and your like tits would be out. I would make those.
Yes.
And so that was my thing. People would be like, I'm confused, and I'd be like, he, she, they, extraterrestrial, call me a fucking bookshelf. I don't care. Because I didn't care. And even like now, if someone really wants to get technical, do your fucking thing. I don't give a fuck. Labels are weird. Obviously, I'm a woman though. Like that's like completely different. I'm a woman, but like all the extra labels, like even with sexuality, like I guess technically now if like I think about it, sure, I guess I'm pansexual because like I'm into energy. I'm into like a vibe. Like if I'm into you, I'm into you.
You're also really personable. Like I could see you connecting with someone that takes you by surprise.
Yeah, no, exactly. And like if that happens to be a cisgender straight guy, like so hot. Love it. Thank God. But if it happens to be like a trans guy with a vagina, hot. So down. Like I'm just like I'm just down to somebody that like understands me, loves me, and makes me feel good.
Yeah, which I love that.
And if there's a bunch of extra labels, like so be it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Also, life is so short. Like you just want someone who you vibe with and encourages you and makes you feel good. And all the other stuff is silly.
Wait, I didn't even answer your question. So I was at Iowa State, and then I was like, oh my God, I have to tell my parents I'm trans. I ripped the bong, and I literally just like my roommate from Australia pulled me aside, and she was like you're trans, right? And I was like, and I just broke down, and because I like was like trying to hide it, and just like.
Because were you dressing in?
I was in like short shorts,
okay,
and like tube tops, and like I was confused.
Okay, so then your roommate kind of got.
Yeah, like I never said like I'm a girl. Like,
okay, but she's the one that asked you.
I had the shaved sides, the long hair, the curl, the glam, the lashes. Like, yeah. And so she was just like, you can obviously talk to me, like, whatever. I broke down.
I love
yeah, it was really, really sweet.
Really
she like, is an angel. Mm-hmm. And so I texted I have 3 nails on right now, you guys, total. 3. And I literally
Senate
just texted.
energy.
Right.
First lady.
Like, Jesus.
First lady energy, for
like,
sure.
Honestly, you're not running for Senate, Lila. Go to the nail salon. And I texted my parents in a group chat. They're together, but I just was like, whatever. Whole long novel. I felt this way for so long. I just like literally want to feel like how I feel internally. Yeah, that was my red flag for a while. Like I couldn't do certain things. Like I would just text, turn off my phone and call it a day. Like
really?
I didn't like I don't like disappointing people.
Okay.
Even now that still it leads to some other red flags. Like I make like 9 plans at once and then like I have to end up disappointing people because I just like saying yes to people and like making people feel good. And I texted them, turned off my phone, ripped the bong, called it a night. Saw it in the morning. They were like, okay, yeah, like I feel like we should just like talk in person.
What did you say in the text?
I was just like, I felt like a woman my whole life. Like I want to move forward with my transition. I want to like seek therapy because obviously that's what you have to do with the transition process, which nobody really understands how many steps and how much money and therapy and all this other stuff that comes with transitioning. Like it's not just like
it's a life transition.
Yeah.
Like
it's not
even
just like,
mentally, I'm sure.
1000%. And I feel like I just got to like a different level / point of my like mental, like even for a while. Wait, so to finish that up, so I went to a therapist. It took like literally 2 or 3 sessions for her to just be like, yeah, like I get it. I see it. Like I would show her my YouTube videos. I would show her like my outfits. I would tell her how I felt. And fucking Penny, I love you. She was like this old lady. And I feel like everyone should have like an old lady angel therapist. And I feel like I just liked her a lot because I love my grandma so much.
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah. And so I think she just like understood me in a weird way. And I was scared to like for my grandparents to find out that I was trans because they're my favorite people on the entire planet. And like, I just didn't want them to be scared or cry or like any of that. I just didn't want to deal with that because like I love them so much. And so I came out as trans on Instagram or like to my family and no one else knew. And my mom told my grandma. My grandma like called me over and she just like cried. She's like, why would you not tell us? Like it makes me so sad that you just like feel like we would ever judge you. Like you know we're your number ones like forever.
I love her.
And then it took them a while to like to adjust to the whole like Lila. Obviously when you're fucking 85 years old, like your brain, like you have 20 grand, like give her some slack, Lila. But I would be like, Gran, who's that? And she would just like break down and start crying. And you could tell that she didn't mean to misgender me. It's just that she has like how many kids, so many grandkids, like, and she's 85. Give her a break.
It's also like, even if one of my best friends was like, okay, my name's this now, it would take me a second just as a human to get used to the new name.
I didn't understand that because I've never had a friend that transitioned until recently. Like I would and honestly, I had a rare experience kind of because I literally dropped everything, moved to LA. Within a month,
Wait, after you transitioned?
I told my parents, didn't tell like the world. And then it was the summer after my like associate's degree. So after my second year of college, I was like, ew, I need to go to LA. I just need to move to LA. Because during my second year, I came to LA for the first time ever. I met like James, I met Nikita, I met Tana, and I went to this fashion show thing. Like I met so many people and I was like, yeah, like this just makes it. Like Tana was like, please daily vlog. Like I still give her credits for like anything and
Oh
everything.
my God, you're such a good creator. Like
my
you,
God, thank
you and your
you.
personality, it's like contagious.
Thank you. And so my mom didn't think I was coming back. Like she was like, I like was reading through her text and she was like, how do we cancel her lease? Like she's not gonna come back. Like,
Really?
I had like no money. I don't know what she thought I was gonna do. But I came back, I finished my school, saved up money all summer working at like this like random restaurant in like Ulta. Then I said my car exploded after like 1 week because they were having me like stock shelves and shit. Came out as trans on Instagram because Iowa had like a couple pride flags. They were doing like this little pride thing. And I was like,
okay, Iowa.
I was like, wait, I've never seen a pride flag here ever. And so I was like wearing like a cute outfit. I was glam and I was like, I just want to take a photo and be like, hey, I'm trans, surprise. So I did it. Shocked everyone. They were like, oh my God, we knew it, whatever.
Yeah.
And then a month later, I moved to LA with $600 in my bank account. At the time, I think I was still my old name. And then I was like, okay, I still want to be like an L name. So I was just like Lil, like Lil, because I knew I wanted to be like Lillian or Lily or Lila or something, but I didn't know of Lila yet.
Yeah, because do you just like come up with a name?
No one talks about how fucking hard it is changing your name. Like, it's like an identity crisis.
People take like their male name and like add it or add some feminine flair.
I'm trying to think of an example.
I mean?
Like if they were Michael, then it would be Michaela or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or I feel like I've heard of that.
No, I just kept the L, dropped everything else. I kept my middle name because my middle name is my grandparents' last name.
What's your middle name?
Minnick.
Oh, that's cute.
And I just love them. So I was like, I feel like
really
it's like
cute.
I like owe it to myself kind of thing. But actually insane story. So I was working at McDonald's, fresh to LA. I think
you were working at McDonald's in LA.
For sure, in Glendale. 8 p.m. till 4 a.m.
Obsessed.
4 a.m. Like imagine me like,
wait, that's crazy.
would you like to try the McPick for two or whatever? What can I get for you? Like literally, I don't even.
Is it busy at that time?
It gets busy. Like right at like 2:35, and I'd be like about to get off work.
So
like,
all
I
the
was
drunk
just
people?
over it. Yeah. Oh, fully like drunk driving through, like hitting the curb, like cussing me out, spitting on me, whole nine.
Wait, we have to brief pause. What was it like working at McDonald's? I feel like everyone's always like throws around the idea of working at McDonald's. It's crazy you actually worked there.
It was honestly it wasn't as bad as people think, first of all. It wasn't as dirty as people think. It's literally not dirty. I think because they have that like preconceived notion about themselves, they like make sure that they're like extra clean and good.
Well,
but like
also I think they have to like for like rules and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I actually liked it. Obviously there were a couple moments where I'm like, why the fuck are they like literally saying he, or like why are they calling me? Because when I applied even like when I still was Lila, like my legal name wasn't
Copy.
So that was kind of hard, but like I loved it because it was like fast paced. So we'd be like running around, like throwing like someone would like throw a biscuit at me and be like, oh, this is for the so and so, and I'd be like, what?
So you were doing the drive-through?
Oh yeah, second window.
Okay. So we're with
had my phone right there. I'd be on Instagram Live. I swear to God. I'm sure some people out there still have it.
Yeah, I'm not kidding you. The TikTok lives that I watch, it's literally like people doing their normal ass jobs. Like I've watched like
I've been loving TikTok lives. They're so
craziest
fun.
things. Yes.
It's everything. Yeah. It wasn't as bad. Obviously the money was ass, and I would like literally go into Ralph's and like the grocery store and Goodwill. I would go into the grocery store with my duffel bag. So I'd get off work, I'd go home and sleep. I'd wake up, flip my trash can upside down, film a YouTube video on the kitchen floor because I lived on the kitchen floor. And
wait, flip your trash can upside down?
Yeah, like if you flip a trash can upside down, how it's like a platform.
Oh yeah.
That's where I'd put my camera to film a YouTube video. That was my tripod.
Love it.
And then I would edit on my little MacBook that I got for high school graduation, and I would walk my happy ass to Starbucks, edit my video, upload it on their Wi-Fi because we didn't have Wi-Fi.
Love Starbucks Wi-Fi.
Go to Ralph's, steal probably $300 of groceries and probably swipe for like $4. Like
Get
just
out.
Self-checkout, scanned like a bag of M&Ms, just stuffed my like duffel bag.
Shut
swear
up.
to God. And then go next door to Goodwill, steal all my outfits to take Instagram photos in, glue down my shitty fucking wig, take photos, do my thing.
Oh my gosh. You were out here grinding.
Yeah, I knew I had to. Like I knew in the end I could always go home to Iowa. But no, Lila's not going home to Iowa. That was never my option.
Also,
but
can I just say Lila suits you so well?
Thank
The
you.
name. It's a great name.
Do you know how I got it?
Well, yes, I did. I listened to your
'cause you
podcast.
listened?
Yeah, but it's a great story. I would love to hear it again.
So there's this place in LA called Delilah. If y'all follow me, you know that's my home. I'm probably there more than my own apartment. And
it's very like bougie,
yeah, like
exclusive.
bougie exclusive, but I never want to
yeah.
say like, oh yeah, I love this exclusive place.
But
I love it there.
Go there a lot.
I just go there a lot, so they're always like,
There will probably
they
be a
drop the
celebrity
rope
there.
every time.
Yeah.
I was there 2 nights ago. knocked over Shakira.
Oh, shut up.
I was insane. I thought she was CGI this whole time. Like my whole life, I was like, oh, she's not a real person.
You're like,
she's
those hips
real.
don't lie.
Yeah, she's real. She's real.
Wow.
And I obviously, like, as a trans girl, I was looking up to like Nikita, Gigi Gorgeous, everybody. And I was going out. I think I would go out like 1 or 2 days a month, like when I was working at McDonald's, because I couldn't afford it. I would take my little Uber pool. I don't even think that's a thing anymore. And I was going out probably to like West Hollywood or like Avita or like somewhere like gay, somewhere Nightingale. And I saw a hot blonde bad bitch on the side of the road. And I was like, oh my God, stop the fucking car. And it was Gigi Gorgeous.
Iconic.
Icon.
She's so fucking
Legend.
nice. I love
She's
her.
an angel. She's also a Taurus, and she also worked at McDonald's.
No way.
When we talk, I'm like, ew.
Was she
like,
a big inspiration for you?
Yeah,
Okay.
one of like the main like biggest inspirations.
She's one of the nicest like celebrity. She probably doesn't even remember meeting me. I met her on a brand trip, but she is so kind.
No, she probably does, because that's how like kind and amazing she is.
I was so impressed with her.
She is everything and more. It's like, I don't even know who raised her, but her like her parents did such a good job. And like,
so kind.
I think like when I was growing up too, like her documentary came out and her mom passed away from cancer, I believe, and like she didn't get the like chance to see her transition. And so I think that's how I started to realize like life is so short.
It really is.
And so I saw Blondie. I know that blonde hair fucking anywhere. Stopped the car and I was like, oh my God, Gigi. Met her, took a photo with her. And
so you got out of your car and we're just like, hi.
Sure. I was like, oh my God, I'm Lila. I've looked up to you literally my whole life. What the fuck is up? You're everything. You look so good. We took a photo. The next day, I'm like laying in bed, like rotting with like ranch in my eye. And
me last night.
And literally every night. And the Delilah sign was cut off and it only said Lila. And it was a photo of us. And I was like, oh my fucking God. Lila.
This is a great story.
Like that's how it came to be. Because Lila was not on those list of L names when I was Googling my name. Like it was always like Lucy, Lillian, like Lilac, like what? And so that's how I got Lila.
It's a great name. Have you seen Friday Night Lights?
No, but my siblings love that show.
Honestly,
that show, right? It's not the movie, it's the show.
I feel like you would love it mainly because it kind of gives like small town energy.
Okay.
But one of the main girls on it, her name's Lilah Gibney.
Stop.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. I'm going to have that as my homework of the week.
Also, you guys like kind of look alike.
I
like,
weirdly enough think I've heard this.
Not like, let me show you a picture of her because she's like this cute.
I want to see.
Brunette. And she is just, she spells it different though. Lyla.
Okay.
But
yeah, let me see.
slay. Obsessed with her.
So then, I posted my stolen Goodwill outfit and it was this whole long caption. Typed it up in my notes app, and at the very end, it was like, so now when y'all bitches at home are talking about how fucking good I look, you can now say, Lila is that bitch. And that's how I announced my new name. Wait, you think I look like that? That's a compliment.
Yeah.
Oh my God, thank you.
I mean, she's like...
she's beautiful.
Both of y'all are stunning.
Oh my God, thank you.
This is her.
Oh my God.
You need to watch it. It's very like...
I think I've seen like a couple
It's like
episodes.
One Tree Hill vibes.
That vibe,
or
yeah.
like almost like Gossip Girl, but not like rich New York. It's like small town football Texas.
I think like my siblings bought all the episodes on like our little iPod touches because I can like hear the like someone whistling and like the football lights. Like I can see the show, but I like don't know anything about it.
Okay, so that's how you got the name.
Yes.
Which I'm obsessed with.
Such a
No, I love
Riddler.
it. I want to go back a little bit to you texting your parents.
Okay.
What was their reaction?
To that text?
Yeah.
They were just like, my dad was like, yeah, I think we need to talk in person. My mom was like, call me, like, what's going on? Like, blah, blah, blah. And then they were kind of just like, not even mad, but I think they were just like in kind of like a state of shock value for a second. And so my best friend, Sydney, and her mom ended up driving 3 hours back to pick me up from school and take me home to talk to my parents.
Really? What?
Yeah.
Wait, that's so sweet.
I know.
Why did they just...
Because I told them.
Did you ask?
They knew.
Okay. Oh, sweet.
Like the summer before that year, we were like all getting ready for the fair in my hometown.
Obsessed.
And I think I was like wearing a tube top or something. And I think I was just like drunk. And I like looked at them and I was like, I want to be a girl or something like that. And they were like, yeah, we know. And they were just the only, like her and my other friend were the only two people that knew. We told her mom, they didn't care. Her mom was there when I like duct taped and put on a like one piece like swimsuit for the first time. And so they like play such a vital role in my transition. So they picked me up. I went home. There was obviously a lot of tears because in a parent's brain, wouldn't know I'm not one. But they kind of like, they kind of thought like, okay, I'm losing a child. Which, like, yeah, you're right, babe. He's dead. Like, even now, like, I'm not kidding. I've shown photos, like, of me as a boy, like, senior photos to, like, my best friends. And I'm like, no, that's my brother. He passed away. And, like, my best friends have started crying because they're like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, no, babe, that's me.
God, that's awful.
That was a photo of me. That was just, like, 3 noses, 1 forehead, tits, a pussy, and a pair of teeth ago. Like, that was just a like, lifetime ago. And so I talked to them, and then they were like, my dad kind of was like, is this for attention? Are you mentally sane? And it's like, now that I think back to like my whole childhood, any reason I ever like got like outlashed, is that the word? Or got like snappy. I feel like everything always came from a place of like, I'm not who I'm supposed to be type of thing. And so that's why I couldn't get along with my dad because I wasn't myself. I didn't feel like his son. Like I like was almost like mad that like him and my sister had such a good relationship. Like, why didn't I go to the daddy-daughter dance? Like, you know what I mean? And so it was, and like, I didn't want to play football. Like, I didn't want to do any of that extra bullshit. Like, I just wanted to like be like loved as a child. And I had like the best upbringing ever. But I think everything that like every argument ever, every problem we had as a family, like was stemmed from me like being not myself.
So I know, I can only imagine how hard a conversation like that is for both parties.
And me, I'm just like, I don't think of shit as like that deep. Like I'm just like, like
You're
they'd
like,
be crying and I'd be like, Mom.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like just very like, why are you crying?
What advice would you give parents who are listening to their kid open up to them about this? What do you kind of wish you would have heard, or what support do you wish you would have had? Or, you know what I mean? Like, what advice would you give parents who are like, I don't know what to do or say?
I think that transitioning is such an insane, scary thing from both parties. Obviously, as a parent, obviously, like, whether your kid is super young or not, it's very much of like, is my kid going to be safe? Because the violence rates, the suicide rates, like all of that is
horrible.
So rocketed and high, like at its peak, like literally right now, which is so scary. And I think that making sure your kid knows that they're loved, and also like even if you're confused as a parent, put them in therapy, give them a therapist, like put them somewhere that they will be supported and they have other people being like, okay, do you feel like this? Okay, you feel like this means this. Like not conversion therapy, like just genuinely like knowing that there's resources. Because me being in a small town, I literally told my mom I was going to a birthday dinner, got in her car, drove an hour and a half by myself. Like, imagine me operating a vehicle, first of all. And second of all, she had my location, like Lila, just to go to the closest like resource center to get put on hormones.
No way.
Yeah. And I vlogged all of it. It's still like it's all over my YouTube channel and stuff. But like, I just had to take shit into my own
you're
hands.
now a huge resource for people. I was watching your transition diaries, which is amazing, by the way. First of all, the reason I said you're such a great creator is because you don't give a fuck. Like, you will show and say everything. Yeah, which is so cool. Like, I think the best creators are the ones that don't have a filter and just kind of like share everything.
That's definitely gotten me in trouble.
But I can't even imagine the amount of little boys and girls that have watched your videos and vlogs that you've like probably changed their lives.
Thank you.
Like, Lila, that's insane.
Thank you. It's weird for me to think about like me just like doing my thing, like being hot and like whipping out a camera.
Like, watching your I was literally like, why am I getting teary-eyed?
Ew, stop. No. Yeah. Thank you.
It's very inspirational.
You're an angel. Thank you. I feel like my thing always and will always be like, I don't care if it gets literally one view. If that one view helped that one person, my job is done. Like that, my struggles and my hardships and like the things I had to go through aren't even to like out people or like get attention or like it'll never be like that. It's literally just to educate the people who are uneducated and like the people who know nothing. Like even when I was living in Iowa as a trans girl, I didn't know a lot of things. But then I would see a certain video, I would see this and be like, oh my God, I should be more standoffish when I'm in this situation. I should be more aware because like there is just so much to it. But yeah. Wait, did I answer the question? What advice would I give?
Yeah, to parents.
Make sure that they know that there's resources because if your child feels alone and especially trying to figure out transitioning, like even 4 or 5 years into transitioning, I was still fucking confused. And like it is such a, you can feel so dark and alone and that there's no hope and that there's no, you know, no other people out there like you and stuff like that, which is the scariest feeling ever. And also just to be patient, because it might be a phase, but you don't need to tell your kid that it's a phase. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, just
let them figure it out.
Let them express themselves. Megan Fox, she doesn't know what the fuck her kid's going through, but she's letting her kid wear dresses. Like, I just feel like you should.
How awesome are Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union? I mean, obsessed.
I love them so much.
Yeah.
And literally, that makes me emo. Because I just love that I hate how, like, anyone tries to be like, oh, they're just doing that for attention. Babe, no one's transitioning for attention.
There's a lot of other things to do.
Let's make one thing clear. If I wanted attention, I'd go volunteer at the fucking Humane Society. Like, I'm not literally getting my, you know, cock and balls chopped off for attention. That's just not something that was on my to-do list for 2020. But that was something that somehow, some way I was grateful enough to have, because when you transition, there's the name change, the gender change, the ID change, the social security, the passport change, then like the getting detained.
I didn't even think about the social security and stuff.
Getting detained
What's the
at TSA.
Thing about transitioning?
Like, there's like multiple aspects, but I think genuinely just like people underestimate like getting your ID changed. Like it literally was like so hard. Like I don't know why and how it was so fucking hard, but like I think like it took like a good solid year or more. And then within that year I was going to pick up my hormones from Walgreens and they were like, my old name. And then it's like, how does that even make sense? Like I don't want to hear that when I'm like getting my hormones. Like that doesn't even make sense. And then like the airport, and then like they see female, but then like the ID they see something else. And then I'm going through the scanner, they see female, but then they're like, oh my God, what's in between your legs? Let's detain you. Like, it's such like and it just fucks you up mentally, because it's like you see something, you're finally at this point of confidence, and then like it's always the smallest little things that are just like, why does it say male on my ID?
Yeah.
I'm not
It's
not
also
male.
so hard to even get like my registration renewed.
Exactly.
Like I can't even imagine changing a name or a gender or anything. That's
for like the cis people, it's one thing.
Yeah.
It's hard enough for you motherfuckers.
Yeah, no, literally.
But then
like,
for us,
I can't imagine.
You got to throw in okay, yep, I need 3 forms from a psychiatrist. Oh, you're so fucking mentally ill. Okay, well, wait a year. Like, it's just like a waiting game.
You need 3 forms from a psychiatrist?
I don't even know what the hell I needed. I think to change my ID and my gender and name on my ID, I had to have like, I think I had to have like a letter from someone, else.
Is it different by state?
Probably.
The transitioning rules?
Probably.
Because
I don't know.
Abortion rules are different by state. Like women, like in Alabama, for instance, like you have to have insane, not psychiatrists, but you have to have like doctors, notes and crazy
The laws
things.
are scary, because it's like, even like coming from Iowa, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but honestly, I'm not. And I have spent so much time in my life in Florida. Like that was like my like healing place a couple years ago. And recently Iowa and fucking Florida both just passed laws where like if you're under the age of 18 and you're transitioning, you have to like stop hormones. Like they're like they're getting rid of your hormones. And I'm like, and it just makes me sick, because I'm like, as someone who wasn't able to transition that young, because I didn't have those resources, the thought of having them and then them being taken away, like, you can't just stop hormones like that. What? But in the grand scheme of things, I think either like, one, the pussy surgery, that was really intense, and like, but I think taking the cake would definitely just be like, when you're trans and you're a creator and you're putting it out there, like, people talk. And that's just something that comes with, you know, being hot. But it has been so hard in a lot of situations, because I've been somewhere with like high-end A-class people, or what are they called? A-class?
A-list?
A-list. Oh my God, I'm like literally brain dead.
No, you're fine.
My pony's like so fucking tight right now. What are they called? A-list people.
Celebs.
Oh my God, good God. And one person will be like, oh, I think she's trans. And then all they have to do is type in my first name, Google, and then it's like all my before photos, Lilah Gibney boy, and then a guy who thinks he's talking to me, oh, I'm not gay. Obviously, you're not fucking gay, babe. I have a pussy. Like, and so it's just like, I think the hardest part is like,
duh.
Well, no shit.
Yeah.
I think it's just like the lack of education, I guess. And like people are just so insecure. And I think that's
people
like
are so bored. I'm like, is that like entertaining or like crazy? Do you know what I mean? I'm like,
and even with my vagina surgery, I obviously documented it. Like you said, you saw it was like a 6-part docuseries on my channel. I documented the whole thing. This photographer at the time wanted to come to San Francisco and come into the operating room and fully document the whole thing. And I was like, yeah, no one's ever done that before. Let's shut it down. New York Times, let's do it. But then he ended up like honestly drugging me. Whole different story. But yeah, he works for like the top like OnlyFans agency in LA. Anyways,
that guy.
yeah, he's trash, but the trash takes itself out always. And I just don't take my own trash out.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, trash. And so I was like, yeah, I'm down. It'll educate people. No one's ever done it before.
He's probably done that to several people.
Exactly. No, I know he has, which is just so gross. Wait, that was going somewhere.
You were in the hospital and he wanted to.
I did my vagina surgery, and then I was like, okay, my checklist is done. I did my face, I did my boobs, I did all the crying, the Glock.
Is there an order like people should approach
Honestly,
it?
good question. No, my friend hasn't had her face done. She's got her boobs. Now she's gonna get her pussy. I got my boobs done. The next couple weeks, I got like my face done, and then.
What do you mean your face?
I got my forehead lowered and rounded, and then my nose done. But okay, so what a lot of trans people think
it's
they
crazy
are.
because you're just like so beautiful. I would never think you'd have
Thank you.
Do you know what I mean?
Brooke and like all my friends get like Brooke and Tana saw me like as a boy, and they were always like, "You don't need anything. You have the most like slim, feminine face. You don't need anything." Blah blah. Blah. Like when I got my teeth shaved down and veneers popped on, Brooke was like, "Lila," and like literally, I am very, very, very blessed with like my body chemicals or something. I don't know. Or like the muscle mass and me not working out when I was younger. I don't think there's an order though, honestly. But what you get when you're trans is FFS, which stands for facial feminization surgery. So it can be all different types of stuff. I really did not need a lot of stuff. My main insecurities were my big ass fucking nose and my big ass fucking forehead.
And are you paying all out of pocket?
So I started a GoFundMe. And
okay, iconic.
I was working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
What the fuck else am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
And I wanted to go to the surgeon that like everyone goes to. His name is Dr. Harrison Lee. He's like the best trans surgeon ever. And
where is he?
He's in Beverly Hills and New York City.
Okay.
And he transform like will operate on like for 10 hours on a face. Like just like really goes to town. Like makes a slit in the lip, puts like a cheek implant up there, like can completely shave the jaw, lifts the brow.
Art.
Shaves the brow bone because some like honestly I have a brow bone and it's an insecurity, but I was like I don't want to shave my fucking.
Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. Don't even worry.
Thank you. And then it's all in a video. They like sliced the upper part of my forehead, lifted my scalp off my head, cut like I think 3 centimeters off,
Crazy.
pulled it back down, sewed it, staple gun that bitch, wrapped me up. Done. And then
that was the first thing you did?
Obviously your boobs grow with hormones. The first thing I did was boobs. I was in Miami on New Year's Eve. My manager at the time, he was like, "What's your PayPal?" And I was like, "The fuck? I don't have a PayPal." I was like, "All these daddies are getting me banned from PayPal. Like what?" And so he's like, "Okay, ask your friend if she has a PayPal." And I was like, "For what?" And he was like, "I want to give you an advance." And I was like, "You have not even gotten me a brand deal. Like, what are you talking about?" Sent me $10K because I think he was like making so much money off of like Dana and like all these other like high creators that it's like a tax thing or something. I don't know. And so, anyways, him and Tana sent me $10K. That was a slay. Bawled my eyes out.
And Tana sent you $10K?
Yeah.
Why'd she send you $10K?
Because I needed my tits done. I looked like shit.
Wait, that's so sweet
I know.
of her.
I know.
Just like she just knew you wanted them.
Yeah. Like,
oh my God.
I was like struggling. I met her in 2017, and then at this point it was like 2020. Still like
shut the fuck up. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then my friend was very, very, very close with the surgeon, my dream surgeon. She made a phone call. I got a consultation the next day. Flew home to LA, packed my bag, flew back to Florida 2 days later, got my boobs done.
Wow.
And then 2 weeks later, got my face, all in January. And then 6 months later, got my vagina.
Oh my God.
2020 was wild because literally in 2019, I made a video being like, yeah, hopefully like when I'm fully transitioned in like 3 years. And it's like, Lila, give it a year, babe.
Wow.
That's why I always say like patience like really comes from within because I feel like you just really have to like be confident with yourself and know that everything else that you want in this life is gonna come. Just obviously not everything happens exactly when you fucking want it to. You're not Matilda. But yeah.
What advice would you give someone who's transitioning and doesn't have, Tana giving them 10K, manager giving them 10K, like they don't have the resources or the connections to get the phone call with the surgeon? Like what advice would you give someone who's like, where do I begin?
Okay. I think that everyone's transition is different. Like even if I give advice, someone else might be like, but I'm in a small town, this. Something that I've realized lately is that no matter where you are, there are so many resources around you, whether you can't even leave your fucking house. There are online support groups resources, people to help you, whatever. And I just hate seeing trans people go to like black market hormones and like the craziest shit because their family doesn't support them. I think that the main advice I think is just to like find peace with yourself as much as you can at the time being. Have patience and like find resources, because literally, I didn't even know this, but like in California, at least like or Medi-Cal, Medicaid, like all that stuff. Like literally, I know someone who got her boobs, BBL, face, everything fully paid for.
Whoa.
Fully paid for just by going to the LGBT center, being like, I'm trans, I want surgery, I want to like, and they help you. Obviously, there's like wait lists and stuff, but it's like, I had a wait list. Like I had a wait list for like a year and a half for my vagina. It got moved because of COVID. Like it was like, there's wait lists for everything. There's a wait list to get into the grocery store, you guys. And so I just think like, literally patience. Obviously, you have to wait for things, but I think like as long as you know who you are and you're like putting out good energy and not like, I always tell people to put out good energy, because even if you compliment someone's ugly ass fucking shoes on the side of the road that you don't know, like that's gonna come back to you eventually, and that's gonna help you.
You give great energy, and you also, one thing I like about you is even at the Taylor Swift concert, I was literally like watching you, and you were interacting with this girl's little sister, and I was like, you were so sweet to her. You were like introducing her to everyone. You were making her feel so like encouraged and like, you know,
she was 12.
Yeah, you know when someone's like, "Wait, this is so sweet." Like I could see it in her eyes. Like, but you were making her feel that way, and it just like. I was like, you do not have to be doing that, and the fact that you were going out of your way
I don't know
to
why.
Like, it was so cute. I loved it.
Thank you.
And people sometimes need that, you know?
They do. And honestly, sometimes I'm like, ew, why the fuck did I literally like, I met this girl yesterday and I just scheduled her whole birthday weekend for her and like got her a comp table, got her a comp dinner, this, introduced her to so-and-so who got her this deal. Like, I just always want to see everyone happy and succeed and thrive. Like whether their energy is good or not, it's going to come back to me. There's no return policy. So yeah, I always like, even like last week I met the idiots from the new cast of Too Hot to Handle. And like, I met one of them, and within 5 minutes, I was calling my manager being like, oh my God, Natalie, you have to meet blank. Because I just like, he was making me laugh. Yeah. Saw how hot he was. Saw the potential. And so I just always want to see everybody in good connections, in good like energy, because
which is awesome. And it's so rare not everyone in LA. Deserves it. Yeah.
So rare. And like people obviously have taken that for granted to the max. Like I was friends with these one people for so long, and everyone would be like, oh my God, Lila, they're awful. Oh my God, they're just like sucking the fart out of your ass. And I'm like, really? Like I can't see it. Like I'm from Iowa, so I just always want to think like everyone's intentions are pure. Do not look at my fucking nails, DK.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
They're nubs.
I'm not. I'm really not. You're talking with your hands.
I know. I'm like punching you in the face. And then like one point I like said something and they were like, you haven't taken us to Tana's. And I'm like, and that's when it like started hitting me where I've had to learn the hard way that not everyone's intentions are pure. Like I forget that like I'm well connected. I forget that I'm me. I forget that I have friends that are well connected and known.
I'm a golden retriever. I let everyone in.
Me too. Like, I'll meet a homeless person. I'm like, you need a Fendi dress? Yeah. Oh my God. Like I don't know why I do it. I think it's just like how I was raised or something.
I will say though, it is a Midwest thing too. I was talking about this with my friend Morgan, who is on this podcast, and we were saying how like when you're in the Midwest and you're on a walk, you say hi to everyone. You're like, hey, how are you going? How's it going?
And
like
if you're in an elevator,
yeah, if you're in an elevator, like, oh my God, you pick up conversation.
When you're in an elevator, you talk about what casserole you're making for dinner.
If I said anything to anyone in my elevator, they would be like, are you talking to me? Like, why are you talking?
No, when you talk to people and are nice to people, it's almost like you like feel like you're on drugs. You're like, wait, did I say something wrong?
Yeah.
Like, what? Why are you mad at me?
I will say though, like being in LA now, like anytime my parents come, I'm like,
and how long have you been here?
9 years.
Oh wow. It'll be 5 years in like 3 days for me. So,
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I need to have like honestly like a Lila LA anniversary.
Yeah, you do.
I really do.
Okay, well, I appreciate you sharing all of this, the trans info, because it's so helpful for those out there, and it's an amazing resource. Hopefully this podcast can help someone.
You know me, I'll always like open my mouth and start blabbing always. And I wish like there were more creators that would, but I never even finished. I got my vagina done, did the docuseries, and then I was like,
docuseries?
Or like I did my little 6-part docu thing. And then I was like, okay, my checklist is over. I'm good. Like I don't want to like be, hi, I'm Lila, I'm trans anymore. I just wanted to be Lila. So I stopped YouTube for like a couple years. And then, so that's the hardest part about transitioning, I think, is like I stopped for so long. I just like wanted to like be Lila and then like be confident with myself. And now I've like gone on dates or like literally, obviously like people can think whatever, but like been hooking up with with men, whatever. And like somebody will be like, oh, that's a dude. Or like they've asked like, oh, are you trans? Or like then we'll be like, oh, you're lying. You were deceitful. And I'm like, you asked me when you were inside me if I was on birth control. And I said, no, that wasn't a lie. I'm not on fucking birth control.
Yeah.
I take my potassium pills and I move the fuck on. I don't need to take birth control, babe. My pussy was $45,000, but way less than that. Thank you to Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Shout
so I just
out.
don't like people's insecurities, and people will always, always, always be so insecure and judge. And like obviously that's how they were raised. Clearly, some people were raised by a pack of wolves. So I think like just like people's stigma about it is like literally the hardest part because it's like get to know me. Why do you think you deserve to know a part of me that like took my whole life for myself to earn for myself? You don't, because you don't even know my fucking zodiac sign.
Also, it's not like you're making them share some really intimate detail.
Did you tell me
about
you got your ass beat by your dad when you were in 6th grade? No.
Yeah, like that
that's
would
not
be
important
weird
to me yet.
to bring up. Like,
Tell me in a month.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That would be weird to bring up right away.
Yeah, so I don't know. People just love to kick you while you're down.
Exactly. What has the dating scene been like for you, like as of lately? What kind of guy do you like?
Okay, so honestly, I am guilty. I was into like the light-skinned rappers only for like strictly years of my life.
Well, you have some crazy stories.
I do have some wild, wild stories. And it has gotten me into trouble sometimes. And I actually was just having a talk with this girl the other day. I was at my friend's makeup like launch party. And I was like, honestly, it's so crazy because you, Miss TK, as a cisgender bad bitch, you grew up a cisgender bad bitch. My womanhood and femininity started 5 years ago. Like I started becoming a woman 5 years ago when I started transitioning. So like I had to like learn how to be a girl, learn how to be classy, learn how to be confident, learn how to like, do you know what I mean? And so like growing up, when I saw all these other trans girls, like I almost thought like, oh my God, Lila, if you hook up with an A-list rapper, like talk about it. Like out these people. But it's like, obviously I think that literally was stemming from like an inner insecurity that I had to out these people to like be known, get followers, be whatever. And that's not the case, because like in the end that makes other trans people more at risk. That puts my safety at risk, and like that just makes the people that I hooked up with hate trans people even more. And so like sometimes I'm like, ew, I hate that I said certain things, but also talk about like shit that I've said, but I'm like, wait, I don't know why I thought like outing people was like the way to go. Because it's like, if someone's hooking up with a trans girl on the low, let it be on the low. Other people just obviously take it too far, and it's like a fetish, and then they want to pay you, and then they tell you to keep your mouth closed, and then they pull a gun on you, and it's like, what?
Obsessed.
Love it. Love a Glock to labia.
That is bananas.
Don't play.
Has that actually happened to you?
Oh, for sure, twice.
No.
Well, Glock to like me once, but then one time I genuinely was like,
No, you're kidding.
Glock to labia. Yeah. But Glock was like a whole nother thing. It was like, you know, Chris Brown. him and his friend, everyone loves to come at me, was not Chris Brown. Long story short, I walked in this party. I think I've told this story before. Walked in this party. I was hanging out with like Sean Kingston all summer. He's an angel. He's a really sweet guy. Like we were just always at his house.
I love him.
I was at his
want
house
him on my podcast.
Honestly, you should make it happen. I think I can pull some strings.
Well,
you know me.
I would be honored.
If there's a Lila, there's some wine,
I
and
want
if there's some
you
wine, there's a
and
way.
Sean.
Okay,
together.
a little double whammy.
Yeah.
And I was at his house once. His like Jamaican, I want to say chef, was cooking lunch.
Oh,
I was in the
yum.
backyard. This other rapper was there. This was besides the Chris Brown thing. And I had to get escorted out because someone was trying to like stab me for being trans. And then
What?
Yeah. And then a couple weeks later, my friend was like, come to Chris Brown's. And so I put on my wig. This was like 2 faces ago. And put on my wig, had my boobs done, whatever. And I show up, headband and ready. I had my little driver, Vic, outside. He was the best. You've probably seen him on TikTok, the one that like plays the disco ball and like
Wait, yeah.
rocks his car. Yeah, he's crazy.
I think I've had him before.
I think everyone in their right mind has had this man. And he dropped me off, and he was like, okay, I'll like be here. And I was like, okay, Slay. I walk in I have like this sixth sense. Like I knew something was wrong like right away. Like I just could sense it. I could sense the girls were talking shit. I could sense the guys were like mad that a trans girl was there. Like someone knew. Someone was
Honestly,
talking.
great piece of advice. If you sense anything,
Leave.
even as just literally anyone, no matter who you are, if you get a sixth sense about some weird feeling,
You're probably right.
get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Trust your intuition.
Yeah,
Trust your gut.
1000%.
Trust your gut.
And I think that like
So you got a bad vibe.
awful vibe. And I literally walked up to my friend and I was like, just so you know, something so weird is about to happen and I can feel it. And she's like, what? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, just wait.
This is at Chris's house?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it might have been rented, but I think, yeah.
Probably
and then
rented.
within probably floor touching the foot mat, walking into the house to when I left, 5 minutes total. Like it was quick. Sean was there. Like I think like they were mad at him because like they knew that we knew each other and he still invited us type thing. And I went and Chris Brown and his friend who like honestly his friend passed away, the guy who was actually holding the gun. And he was like, you need to go. And Chris Brown was like just holding his little like whip it canister. And like I was like, okay. And I just like flipped my little blonde wig and left.
You're kidding.
Because like what am I gonna do? Cause a scene, get shot, leave? Like no, I'm
No,
I wasn't dying to be there and drink Hennessy. Like I wanted to go. And so I left, bawled my eyes out. But awful.
Awful.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even imagine.
And it's crazy because it's like a lot of experiences do happen on the low. Like even with certain like my like favorite. I've never talked about it, so I'm not gonna out him. I'm trying this new thing where I don't do that anymore. But I showed up to his studio. Whatever. I was gagged because like he's like my favorite rapper ever.
Rapper? Okay.
Yeah, like rapper, like singer-ish, but like mostly rapper.
Okay.
And showed up to his studio in North Hollywood, and I was like, oh my God. And then he was there, but thank God like other people were there, and also thank God I'm like confident in myself and like know when it's the time to like hit the dip.
Yeah.
And so I was there.
Yeah, you're very self-aware.
Up. Yeah, very self-aware just from everything that has happened. And so I was like, we went to this room, we were making out, we were hooking up.
You and the rapper?
Yes, whole nine, just us. We went to a separate room. We were in his studio for a sec, and then we went to like a different room. And he was like, have you had surgery? And he was like eating me out. And I was like, yeah, my tits. And he was like, anything else? And I was like, yeah, my nose like twice. While he was like in my like fucking $40,000 cooter.
Wait, no, you're kidding.
No, dead serious. And then he was like, no, like down here. And I was like, no, but at this point you're being fucking weird. So honestly, you want to grab my shit because I'm leaving? He was like, what? I was like, yeah, grab my shit, I'm leaving. Because I was like, mission accomplished. Like, honestly, hooked up with him. I'm out.
You're like, I'm done.
But it's scary because a lot of those situations can happen at a house. Just you too. Like, trans people are like so confident and unbothered. So they like think they're fine and invincible. But it's like, no, babe, you're going to get shot and killed real quick. And like the violence, I'm happy I've never gotten like my ass beat or like genuinely
my God.
like.
I mean, thank God.
Because the violence is so scary. So I'm like happy and grateful that I like haven't been in anything actually like harmful. Because the experience I have been in are like joke worthy. I'm like, yeah, gloctalabia.
Oh my God, Lila.
But just be careful, follow your instincts, and be patient.
Get the fuck out of there.
Three words of advice.
Yeah, exactly.
And get the fuck out.
Surround yourself with good people.
Get the cash and get the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly. Get what you need and get the fuck out of there.
Exactly.
So what are you up to now? Like, what moves are you making in your life right now?
So this year has kind of been like a crazy all over the place year for me. I ended February, blacked out in Cabo for 9 days, came back, filmed a reality show with Barstool, which was amazing. Had so much fun. It was amazing because like it's very much like this, like so many lights, but like in every situation. And if there was drama, they would be like, okay, wait, hold on.
Wait, was this the one Bran was on? And it's Brianna's.
Brianna Chicken Fry and Grace and Josh Richards. Yeah.
I love Brianna Chicken Fry and Grace.
More than anything.
And Josh is awesome too. Yeah.
Josh is literally such a good guy. He's an Aquarius. Like I was venting him about my boy troubles. And because this guy that I was into was an Aquarius, and he was giving me like the best advice, and I was like, "Wait, ew, Josh, you're like so like hot."
Isn't Bran awesome? Bran
everything.
has been on this podcast.
Oh my God, this is the podcast he did when we went out, right? I took him out, and I accidentally got blacked out, and he was like, "Oh my God, I'm making moves with DK at like 8 a.m."
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that man.
Yeah, he was like, I went out with Lila and Brooke or something.
Yeah. He's everything. He's amazing. And like we met once briefly before we filmed. So we filmed that. That was for only 7 days, which like doesn't seem like a lot.
But you got
like,
a lot of shit done.
Let me make
one
filming. Thing fucking clear. No one prepares anyone for any type of reality TV. Because one, phone's gone. That drives me nuts.
That's a long 7 days.
2, no like 500 FaceTime calls a day. If you saw my call log, you'd be like, what, Lila? Like, what? I'm always on FaceTime. I'm always like making some sort of like arrangement for someone else. Like, I don't even know. And so it was kind of like nice. It was like a rehab almost, but also like, and then I had to like do my own fucking hair. Like, where's Sarai doing my blowout? And then also just like you genuinely like crying your eyes out and like having so many cameras. Like it like kind of fucks with you. But it was nice because no one knew I was trans. Like I went into it like I had this little fling with this guy. Like I talked to him about it in a closet. It wasn't on like there was no cameras. Like he was like, yeah, I Googled you, like blah blah. He's like, don't worry, like I don't care about any of that shit. And I was like, oh my God, ew. But now I just like know that I'm working on higher and better, more popular reality TV shows.
Wait, you absolutely need to be on a reality TV
like there's
show.
never
You're
been
literally perfect for reality TV.
There's never been a trans girl on a like there
Are
has,
you kidding?
but like there's never been like a post-op trans girl on a dating show.
Okay.
And so it's like imagine the sit-down dramatics, me sitting down with Jonathan being like, I was born different.
Wait, which one would you want to be on? I need you on The Bachelor.
The Bachelor would be insane.
That would
but they're
be
like
crazy.
also just like 5'7" hotties. I'm like 5'11".
They are 5'7".
Yeah, they're like so
Everyone in
5'7".
LA.
I just got word back from this one, but I'm gonna try this also new thing where I'm like,
Where you're not gonna say.
where I'm gonna like,
okay,
but it's supposed to film in like October, so
okay,
we'll see. I know I'm gonna be on it though. I know it's gonna shut shit down. I just think that'd be amazing for the trans community as well.
absolutely.
And then also, I'm waiting to hear back from a couple different podcast companies, starting my own podcast because a bitch can never shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
What? And like, yeah, what? Like, I need my own chair. So that's that. Working on like brand deals. I've retired the sugar baby life. I haven't seen a daddy all 2023.
But like,
You
what an
motherfuckers at home.
insane era of your life.
It was everything. Like the CEO of like the most popular underwear brand ever. You've probably worn it. Like sending me his plane. Like literally.
Do you mind sharing a story from the sugar baby days?
Oh, sure, 10.
Okay.
Like, of course.
Love.
There's so many, but like two that kind of merged into one because it was the same guy. I was at home.
Wait, I'm so sorry. I have to interrupt. How does this even happen?
Seekingarrangements.com.
Okay.
I talk about it because I'm open and honest. Some people love to be like, Lila like supports and doesn't talk about the dangers. It's dangerous, babe.
Seeking arrangements?
I don't recommend it. I had to do it to survive. Like, it wasn't my hobby.
So what is this? Is this like a
Seeking
dating app?
arrangements. You can be a sugar baby or a sugar daddy. You say if you're male or female, and if you're into male or female or both. And then you put your photos. You put your heading. I always say like Egyptian brunette. I'm like literally totally not Egyptian.
POV, you're from Iowa.
Everyone's when anyone asks like, "Are you transgender?" I'm like, "No, you fucking asshole. I'm Egyptian. My dad's from Cairo."
Shut up.
I don't know. It just came out of my ass one day, and so
Is
you
it
get
like you swipe?
There's like a list of them, and then like they message you, and they're like, "Hey, here's what I'm looking for." Blah blah blah.
So what the fuck are they looking for?
They're looking for something discreet, or like they're down to like. Some of them are married, some not. They're down to like just like pay you for like, a little moment and then like move on, or they're down to like, meet for coffee, see where things go, have something long term. I was never about that long term shit. I'm not about wasting my time. Let's talk a price. Let's talk it now and let's meet.
Is it pretty much expected like a hookup, or is it? I know sometimes I've heard.
Yeah, now that I don't really do it, I feel like I can like.
Or like, oh, I just want you to come like to my table at a club, like shit like that. You know?
I mean, I've definitely had both. Like, I've definitely gotten a chunk of money for a 10-minute Erewhon date, and I've definitely
like how much?
Like I've literally gotten like $1,000 just to go to Erewhon.
No, you're kidding.
And then I like once like
you could buy so many Haley
because
Bieber
my rate it was
smoothies
always
with that.
like a K, like 1 to 2K. I would just be like, okay, whatever, like let's just figure it out. And I would always go to Florida on my little daddy ventures because like West Palm Beach, Boca Raton, like those are where the daddies are. They'd send you the fattest suburban.
And they would be like married.
I didn't have like a lot. Like they weren't all married.
Okay.
But I had experience with married men for sure.
Wow.
Which
that's
made me feel like shit.
Yeah.
But also like
honestly,
I have to pay my fucking rent. Like what am I gonna do?
They're
Be
the
homeless?
one married, not you.
Yeah, that's clearly their problem. You have to like kind of. It sucks because you really do have to like turn off your humanity switch. Like you can't think like, oh, what about this? Oh, do they think I'm trans? Oh, what if I don't get paid? Like you genuinely just have to be like, I need the money.
So
Here
on the
I am.
app, what are they saying?
Honestly, I'll pull up an example.
Yay!
So this guy messaged me and he was like, hey, like, can I send you my plane? And I was like, what?
Wait, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And I was like,
have you ever recognized any like celebs or anyone like that on here?
yes.
Wow.
Yes. And so I get on and he's like, let me send you my plane. And I was like, okay. And then at the time, throwback, I'd never been on a private plane. I'd never been on a jet. I don't even think I'd been on a jet suite. Now, I don't know what happened. But, so here it is. It's like a thing. And then you like.
Oh my God, can I look at this?
Yeah, of course.
Wait, this is incredible. Well.
And so me still
insane.
having my old account. And so, yeah, you just like scroll through. You can click on something too.
So they don't have like the actual names.
No. I mean, they'll tell me. They'll be like, yeah, I'm Jonathan. But he sent me his plane, right? He goes, yeah, go to Millionaire Airport. Like Millionaire Airport.
Where is that?
I think probably, I'm not kidding, probably 5 minutes away from me. I think it's super, super close. And so I was like, okay, you're a scammer. There's no airport. And so I go, can I bring a friend? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, wait, where am I going again? He was like, Vegas. And I was like, okay. He was in Vegas already, so he sent his plane back to LA to get me. So I go
This is crazy.
Crazy. And so I go to the airport with my friend.
They're all pretty old.
Huh?
They're all
pretty old. And between like 40 and 70. The oldest was 82.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, crazy.
And so he sent me his plane. We get on the plane. There's food, snacks, whole nine. We land in Vegas. I'm like, what the fuck? So and then we go to the hotel that he was at. He was sleeping. I think he got like really drunk all day.
Where
That's
was
why
he to win?
No, he actually wasn't on the strip, and that's why I got really nervous. But he was at that one, the big one that they stay off the strip, like that. That's really good for gambling. It's huge. River Rock, maybe. Something Rock for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so I was like, okay, weird.
Maybe
so we get there, he wasn't answering. I was like, ew, this is so annoying. We literally just got bamboozled. He finally answered. He picked up. We go up to his hotel. He was really sweet. Like usually they're like touchy, weird, annoying, rude, disrespectful, something. Within like 30 minutes, I was like, so like, where's the allowance?
So you were just chit-chatting?
Yeah, I was like, where's the allowance? He
and
went, got
he
10K,
was?
gave it to us, told us to split it. No, but his plane had his logo. Yeah.
And did you immediately know what it was?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because I've gotten the gifting from them.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
And it was 10K cash?
10K cash. And so that's like out of like, usually it was like a K. Like honestly, I've done it for less, done it for more, but like usually it was like 1,000 average just to like, vibe.
No.
And so that was cute. I was down, and then we had a night. We honestly just drank and like giggled and had like so much fun. And then like in the there was 2 rooms in this big ass suite in his hotel. Me and my friend slept in the other room. He slept in the other. We woke up. We were like, there was breakfast everywhere. I was like, oh, like what's our plan? He was like, nothing. Like whenever you guys want to go, just like text the pilot. And I was like, oh, slay.
No, you're kidding.
And so I texted the pilot. We were ready. We went home. And then like 2 days later, he was like, you should come to my house. He lives like an hour away. And so I was like, okay, slay. I took my other friend to his house. There was like 3 other escort bitches there. And his kid was having a party.
Wait, he invited you and 3 other girls to his kid's party?
For sure. They were like seniors in high school. And his son's girlfriend
knew who you
recognized me. From Tana, from everything.
Of
and
course.
So I was like, okay. Hey.
Shut up.
But it wasn't like, oh, you're with my dad. It was just like, oh, hey. In my brain at the time, I wasn't like, fuck, what if they tell like his dad I'm trans? I wasn't like that. And so then we like had a night. We like honestly all took mushrooms. And then we woke up at like 6 a.m. This driver got us. This other girl bounced. She was like walking down the street naked. I don't know what happened to her. And we went to his big ass plane, got on the jet again. And we were like, okay. And he was like, where should we go? And I was like, what? I was like, Aspen, like Miami. And he was like, yeah, let's do Miami. I was like, okay.
This is insane.
So we gassed it to Miami. I've never been on it. Well, at the time, it was only my second time on a jet. But like a jet to Miami.
I've never been on a private plane.
Oh, TK, it's everything.
I need to go.
Getting on like just barefoot as fuck, like just like with a blanket, like having so many snacks, like quesadilla, you name it, they'll have it. Like
that's insane.
The mukbangs I've done on jets, like
And you just went to Miami with him.
So we landed in Miami. I honestly don't remember like what happened when we landed, but we stayed. I could pull up so many photos. We stayed at a 2-story, 5-bedroom penthouse suite at the Mondrian, and it was $25,000 a night. And I think he paid in cash. He brought like a duffel bag of cash. I think he gave me $5,000 more cash when I was in Miami because I like fucked him with this other girl. I don't know. And so that was my first time hooking up with him because I didn't hook up with him in Vegas. And we were there, whatever. We were supposed to be there for like 4 nights. And then I woke up the next morning. We were like, hello? He was gone. So I think he took one of the other girls and just like took his plane and like bounced.
Wait,
then, like,
how the fuck did you get home?
one of the girls that like worked for him, like she was like he started as a sugar baby a couple years ago, and then like he hired her for his company.
Okay, like an assistant or something?
Yeah, kind of like that. He sent her his Amex. And so I was like, took it, booked a JetBlue flight home, duh. And well, stayed there for a few days, you know, racked up the spa, but then flew home. And I was like, okay, slay. And we haven't seen each other since. That was probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. Yeah. He was the craziest. It was just it was unreal money. Like,
that is unreal.
and other ones, like the daddies just love like getting drugged out and like getting so fucking weird. And like, I'm like, ew, put your ketamine away. So why are you chasing me with a knife? Like this one guy in Miami, like literally chased us out of his house. Like they're weird. But the Miami daddies just go crazy because they all have like drivers. Like the LA ones are just broke.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the LA ones are like on games. So yeah, anyways, I'm in retirement.
You're in retirement and
Feels
now
good.
Are you...
So now I'm just like in my like brand deal.
You're
like,
in your boss ass bitch
I'm in my boss era. You know, I'm about to sell a house after this with the outfit I'm wearing. But yeah, you know, legal money, paid my taxes, like just like on to like that next. I feel like I'm in a very next era. And even like I was out the other day and this one kid of a very famous basketball player gave me his number. And he was like, what's your address, blah, blah. And I was like, it was like 3 a.m. And I was like, okay, yeah, I could probably fuck him. He'd probably honestly never like.
Wait, I feel like I know who this is. But continue.
And then I was like, yeah, I've thought he was hot for years, like literally years. But like, why would I fuck someone who doesn't know my heart, doesn't know my middle name, doesn't know that I'm trans, doesn't know that my struggles? Like, I don't want to give my like energy or time to something. Like, I was trying so hard, like for so long.
You're looking for
like,
connection.
Yeah, I'm just looking for a connection, and like I feel like it always comes to you when you least expect it.
Totally.
And I saw, honestly, to answer your question, who's your favorite on TikTok right now? Monet McMichael and Jalen Noble. And so I think
she's
Monet,
awesome.
Love her.
She's so sweet. I love her.
I think I saw her on a podcast. I don't know whose it was.
Manny and Laura Lee.
Actually, I think yes.
Yeah.
Is that the only one she's done? Is that what you said that?
I think so.
So she did a podcast and she was like talking about her relationship, and she was like, I'm whole. She was like, I love myself. She was like, I have my finances. I have my money. She's like, I have my family. I have my life. I have my social media. Like I have my job, whatever. And she's like, if someone wants to come into my life, they have to be an addition.
Absolutely.
And like, based off that, like I've kind of like used my own words, but like, yeah, first of all, I failed geometry. And second of all, the opposite of addition is subtraction. If somebody is not friendship or not, relationship or not, if someone's in your life and wants your energy, if they're taking your energy and not like adding to it and
energy
watching
suckers.
you succeed, yeah, and like talking about you in a room full of people when you're not around, like that, like then goodbye. Then divide that hoe the fuck back, because like you don't have time for that. And me, like I work too hard.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, wait, you don't want a piece of this? That's weird. It's expensive. Like,
yeah.
They're lost.
Exactly.
And so now I'm in like my like self-healing era.
Love
like
that.
went to the hospital, like almost died. So now I'm just like trying to like heal from that and like figure myself out.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited for this era of your life because I feel like a lot of things are going to move and shake for you.
Me too. Like I think for the last 5 years in LA, I was like, oh my God, why isn't this happening? I think I had to like
You've done a lot in 5 years.
fumble, tumble, and like be a mess to like have everything be back on track. And so I think we're back on track.
I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
And I just have to say again, you were such a doll the first time I met you. You still are, but you are so welcoming.
The dolls are darling.
The dolls are darling. You're so welcoming and fun to be around and encouraging and just a light that we need more in this world. So thank you so much for coming on the pod.
I love you. I adore you. My sweet girl.
Sorry,
Next time I'm literally going to give you my vows. Like the fuck?
Well, Lila, where can everyone follow you and,
All right, you
pimp
guys,
yourself out?
if you want to see more, my Instagram is Lilah Gibney. My Snapchat is Lilah-Gibney. And TikTok is Gibney Lila. Anything else, you know where to find it.
Yep, exactly. Well, I love you so much. And thank you
Thank you so much for having me on. I feel like I could literally talk for
forever.
hours. Me and her like talking is scary because it's like somebody put a sock down my throat.
I know. No, same. And
can't stop.
don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and make someone else's day this week.
5 stars, you're going to have bad luck.
Yep. Bye. Love you.
Bye, you guys.
Ooh, I love that. 5 stars or you're going to have bad luck.